Imagine being locked in a concrete box, alone, for 23 hours a day. No sunlight, no voices, no physical touch, just you and your mind. This isn't a horror film or a dystopian novel. This is real life. Inside ADX Florence, officially known as the United States Penitentiary, Administrative Maximum Facility, ADX Florence is the most secure prison in the world. Hidden deep in the Colorado Rockies, this fortress is home to some of the most dangerous individuals on Earth. But behind the cold steel and concrete lies a deeper horror, a place designed not just to confine the body, but to crush the human spirit. Today, on Urban Lore, we expose the dark truth of ADX Florence, America's most secretive and feared prison. Now we discuss the origins of the supermax. ADX Florence was born from blood. In the 1980s and early 90s, a series of brutal attacks inside American prisons shocked the nation. Guards were killed. Inmates staged violent uprisings. The system was out of control. The federal government needed a solution, something that could guarantee absolute control. That solution became ADX Florence. Built in 1994 in Fremont County, Colorado, this supermax facility was engineered to house the worst of the worst. Serial killers, domestic terrorists, drug lords, not just dangerous men, but men considered uncontrollable by any normal prison standards. A former warden once said, "It's not about rehabilitation here, it's about control." Nicknamed the Alcatraz of the Rockies, ADX was built far from civilization, surrounded by mountains, barbed wire, and silence. It was designed to be a place no one escapes, and few survive intact. Psychological design of isolation. Everything inside ADX Florence is built for psychological domination. The inmates live in 7 by 12-foot concrete cells. There are no windows to see the outside world, just a narrow slit angled toward the sky. Inmates eat all their meals in their cells. They shower in their cells. They are escorted in shackles by guards if they move even one room over. And that's rare because most prisoners spend 23 hours a day completely alone. No communal yard, no group therapy, no human interaction. Only a single hour of isolated recreation in a concrete enclosure, slightly larger than their cell. Their only contact with the outside world is through a slot in the door. Meals, books, even legal documents are passed through this small opening. It's more than isolation. It's sensory deprivation. Over time, the silence becomes unbearable. Many inmates develop hallucinations, paranoia, severe anxiety, and depression. Some have attempted suicide. Others succeed. Psychologists call it living death. Because in ADX Florence, time doesn't pass. It stretches, and then it breaks you. Notorious inmates. Who are the people locked inside this fortress? These are not your average criminals. ADX Florence houses names that have haunted headlines. One other one, Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber. Shidor II, Zacharias Moussaoui, the so-called 20th hijacker of the 9/11 attacks. Thugger III, Richard Reed, the shoe bomber. Lecture 4, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the Boston Marathon bomber. Even drug kingpin El Chapo was considered for transfer. Each prisoner is monitored 24/7 through surveillance cameras and pressure-sensitive floors. They can't see or speak to other inmates. Even their voices are kept silent. The system is built to prevent communication, rebellion, and even escape attempts before they begin. The prisoners may be alive, but they are buried in concrete, forgotten by the outside world. The architecture of control. From the moment you enter ADX Florence, control is absolute. The facility is built with layer upon layer of security. The perimeter features motion sensors, pressure-sensitive floors, and 12-foot fences topped with razor wire. The buildings themselves are built with reinforced concrete, blast-resistant walls, and steel airlocks. Even inside the prison, every hallway is monitored, every sound recorded. every movement anticipated. Inmates have no access to anything that could be turned into a weapon, not even metal utensils or standard paper clips. Lawyers speak through thick glass. Family visits, if they happen at all, are rare, short, and heavily monitored. Guards are trained like military personnel. High clearance officers patrol every wing. It's not just a prison, it's a fortress, and every single piece of it is designed with one goal in mind: total, unbreakable control. Dark allegations and human rights controversies. But not everyone believes this control is justified. Over the years, ADX Florence has drawn criticism from human rights groups, former guards, psychologists, and even former inmates. They describe it not as a correctional facility, but as a psychological experiment, gone too far. Reports have surfaced of inmates suffering mental breakdowns. Others have self-harmed, begged for help, or taken their own lives. The U.S. government insists it's a last resort, used only for the most violent, irredeemable criminals. But Amnesty International and civil rights groups argue otherwise. They claim long-term solitary confinement violates the Eighth Amendment, protection from cruel and unusual punishment. In 2015, a major lawsuit revealed that dozens of mentally ill inmates were confined in ADX with little to no treatment. Some were locked in for decades. A federal judge called the conditions dehumanizing. Still, the prison remains operational, unchanged, impenetrable, and largely invisible to the public. The next section is, can anyone ever leave ADX Florence? The truth is, almost no one leaves. ADX Florence is designed to be the end of the line. Most prisoners sent here will never breathe free air again. There is a so-called step-down program for those who demonstrate perfect behavior. After years of isolation, they might be moved to a lower security prison, but the criteria are strict and success stories are rare. For most, the walls of ADX are their final home, a concrete tomb with no funeral. ADX Florence is more than just a prison. It's a symbol of modern punishment, a place where the worst are forgotten and, sometimes, even the innocent are buried alive in silence. Is it justice, or is it something darker? A warning, a weapon, a message? As society debates prison reform, mental health, and human rights, the darkest truth about ADX remains. In the most secure prison on Earth, the bars aren't always visible. Sometimes they're built inside the mind.